Do you believe there are ancient artifacts, described in the Bible, that have never been found? Objects buried in time, hidden beneath the dust of centuries, and to this day, no one can say for sure. Are they legend, or are they real? From a sacred chest said to hold divine power, to a mysterious salt pillar linked to a woman's tragic fate, to a copper scroll listing treasures never recovered. What all these have in common is this: they shouldn't be where they are, or perhaps they never should have existed at all. In this video, we'll explore 5 out-of-place artifacts, each connected directly or indirectly to the Bible. Artifacts that are real, documented, preserved, and yet filled with questions no one has fully answered. Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is one of the most famous and mysterious religious artifacts in human history. According to the Hebrew Bible, the Ark was a sacred chest built by the Israelites under God's direct instructions, designed to contain the 2 stone tablets of the 10 Commandments that Moses received on Mount Sinai. The Ark is described in detail in the book of Exodus. Constructed from acacia wood, overlaid with pure gold inside and out. The lid, known as the mercy seat, was topped with 2 golden cherubim facing each other. It was kept in the Holy of Holies within the temple in Jerusalem. Throughout Israel's early history, the Ark played a central role in religious rituals. It was carried during the wilderness journey and into battle. Its presence was believed to symbolize God's dwelling among his people. What happened to the Ark? After the destruction of the first temple by the Babylonians in 586 BCE, the Ark disappears from historical records. To this day, its exact fate remains unknown, and there is no archaeological evidence confirming its survival. Several theories exist: destroyed or taken by the Babylonians during the conquest of Jerusalem, hidden by temple priests before the fall of the city, possibly in a secret chamber. Preserved in Ethiopia, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church claims the Ark is kept in the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Aksum. However, access is strictly forbidden, and no external verification has ever been allowed. Although many archaeologists and religious researchers have searched for the Ark, no confirmed discovery has ever been made. Lot's wife salt pillar. It's one of the most haunting images in the Bible. A woman looks back at her burning city and instantly becomes a pillar of salt. That woman was Lot's wife, and the story is told in Genesis 19. When God decided to destroy the sinful cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, 2 angels warned Lot and his family to flee immediately. They were told clearly, "Do not look back." But as they were escaping toward the small town of Zor, Lot's wife turned and looked back, and she was transformed into a pillar of salt. The Bible doesn't explain the reason directly, but many interpret her act as disobedience or a longing for a sinful past. Does this salt pillar really exist? Near the southern edge of the Dead Sea, there's a natural salt formation known locally as Lot's Wife. It stands beside Mount Sodom, Jebel Ustam, a ridge made almost entirely of salt rock, shaped over thousands of years by erosion and weather. From a geological perspective, the formation is completely natural. The Dead Sea has extremely high salt content. Wind, water, and temperature erosion naturally shape salt pillars. One particular pillar stands roughly 7 to 10 meters tall and resembles a cloaked human figure from a distance. However, there's no archaeological or scientific evidence linking this formation directly to the biblical story. Naming it Lot's wife is more a cultural and religious tradition than historical proof. Some scholars interpret the story metaphorically. Turning back toward what God has condemned may result in irreversible consequences. The Copper Scroll. In 1952, archaeologists made a strange discovery near the Dead Sea, inside a cave at Qumran. A metal scroll, unlike anything ever found before, covered in etched Hebrew letters. This was the Copper Scroll, part of the famous Dead Sea Scrolls, but completely different in both content and material. While other scrolls were written on parchment and contained religious texts, this one was engraved on sheets of copper and listed 64 hiding places of treasure, with specific details of quantities and locations. One example reads, "In the cistern in the courtyard of the burial chamber, 600 talents of silver." Another says, "In the tomb in the valley of milk, 70 talents of gold. If real, the total treasure mentioned could be worth billions of dollars today. But is the treasure real? To this day, none of the 64 locations have been verified, and no treasure has been officially recovered. 3 major theories have emerged. It is a real list, created by the Essenes or temple priests, to hide sacred treasures before the Romans destroyed Jerusalem in 70 CE. It is symbolic, much like many ancient Jewish texts, filled with metaphor and coded language. The treasures may have been found already, possibly looted or lost without documentation. What's remarkable is the scroll's construction. The text was etched into 2 rolled sheets of copper, a rare and expensive process at the time. This suggests the content was considered highly valuable, not just spiritually but materially. Decades of exploration, translation, and searching have yet to solve the mystery. To this day, the copper scroll remains one of archaeology's most puzzling unsolved cases. Siloam Inscription. Among all biblical artifacts that have been discovered, the Siloam Inscription stands out as a rare case where archaeology directly supports a biblical account. In 1880, a young boy playing near the Siloam Tunnel in Jerusalem stumbled upon an ancient text carved into the wall. When archaeologists investigated, they confirmed it was an early Hebrew inscription, dating back to the 8th century BCE, during the reign of King Hezekiah of Judah. The inscription is short but incredibly significant. It describes how 2 teams of workers dug a water tunnel, one starting from the Gin Spring and the other from inside the city walls of Jerusalem. They met in the middle, successfully completing a hand-carved tunnel through solid rock. The text even captures the moment the teams heard each other's tools and broke through, a rare and personal glimpse into ancient engineering. Connection to the Bible, this event directly matches the account in 2 Kings 20 verse 20 and 2 Chronicles 32 verse 30, which describe how King Hezekiah built a tunnel to bring water into Jerusalem in preparation for an Assyrian siege. This makes the Siloam inscription one of the first archaeological confirmations of a specific biblical event, showing that some parts of the Bible reflect historical realities. Current status and importance. The inscription is now housed in the Istanbul Archaeological Museum in Turkey. Israel has formally requested its return multiple times, but Turkey has declined. Unlike other biblical artifacts shrouded in mystery, the Siloam inscription is a verified piece of history, tangible evidence that the Bible is rooted, at least in part, in real-world events and infrastructure. The Phaistos Disc. Among the world's most mysterious ancient artifacts, the Phaistos Disc stands out. While not directly related to the Bible, some scholars speculate it may reflect a civilization that indirectly influenced ancient Near Eastern cultures, including those mentioned in biblical narratives. Discovered in 1908 at the Phaistos Palace on the island of Crete, the disc comes from the Minoan civilization, one of Europe's earliest advanced cultures. It's made of baked clay, roughly 15 centimeters in diameter, and is famous for its spiral arrangement of mysterious symbols, stamped into the surface using individual seals. This makes it one of the earliest known examples of movable type printing, thousands of years before Gutenberg. To this day, no one has successfully deciphered its meaning. It contains around 241 individual symbols, representing about 45 unique signs. No other artifact has been found using the same writing system, making linguistic comparison nearly impossible. Why is it considered out of place? Its writing system has no known parallels before or after. The use of preformed stamps implies a technological advancement well ahead of its time, circa 1700 BCE. Some researchers suggest the disc may originate from outside Crete, possibly from the ancient Near East, which could explain symbolic similarities with Proto-Semitic scripts or Canaanite symbols. That said, there is no proven connection between the Phaistos Disc and the Bible or biblical cultures. Its real value lies in its mystery, challenging our understanding of early human communication, culture, and technology. If you found this video interesting or meaningful, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. It really helps me stay motivated to make more content like this. Thank you so much for watching till the end. See you in the next episode, where we'll explore even deeper mysteries.